Hi, this is John David, and this is a new video blog. Today I'm going to be talking about the issue of truth. See, a lot of times people get frustrated, especially with believers in Christ, that we're a bunch of meanies. Yeah, that's right, meanies. Well, something like that. Anyway, a lot of people have a problem with us saying that we claim to believe there is a truth. In particular, truth about God, truth about the nature of God, the character, the person of God. And so it's kind of comes across in this way. It's, who do you think you are? Where do you get off in saying that you have the only truth? You can't say that Islam is wrong. You can't say that Buddha is wrong. You can't say that atheists are wrong. You can't say that anybody's wrong when it comes to these questions of faith and truth. So who do you think you are, Mr. Proud Religious Man? So today I want to talk about that issue. How do we know something is true? And just discuss it a little bit, because I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there that people have about Christians when they claim certain things. And so, first of all, I want to make it clear, I'm not right. I don't claim to know everything. I don't claim to have an all-knowing knowledge about God, the nature and character of God. So I am not 100% correct. Even in my understanding of the Bible, I don't claim to have it right all the time or in every area. So let's just start off by making that clear. But just because I'm not right all the time and I don't understand everything about the Bible or God or life, doesn't mean that I don't have some things right. And that's an important point to make. You see, Christians stand on something that God has revealed himself. You see, if it were just us figuring out God by ourselves, we would be kind of my opinion versus your opinion. But we believe something that God entered into time and history and space, and he reacted and acted with humans. And those events were recorded in a book called the Bible. And so, which is actually multiple books all bound together into one. And so, we have a God who speaks, a God who reveals himself. And that is what we have to face, what is revealed. Let me illustrate. I can tell you, I think that there's a cup on my desk, and I think it's camouflage. And so, if I were to just make that statement, it'd be no big whoop-de-doo. But if I show you the cup and I said, look, here is the cup, you have to face this cup and deal with it. Okay, you have to decide whether this is in your face or not, and then you'll say, yes, I believe there is a cup that is on John David's desk, okay? And so the same thing, when God reveals himself, we have to take that revelation and then face it and say, wait a minute, this is who he is saying he is. This is what he is all about. And either he is or he isn't. And that gets to our second point, the basic rules of logic. You see, logic has basic rules in our thinking. This is the way that we think, and we're wired this way. And early on, a long time ago, Aristotle and a bunch of other Greek guys decided to write this stuff out and said, hey, we think in certain ways. For example, this is a mouse. This is a computer mouse. This is not the little mouse that runs around and eats cheese. This is a computer mouse. And it is not a mouse that eats cheese. It is not a cow. It's not a flying saucer. Basically, what we're trying to say in the rules of logic is that A is equal to A. A is not equal to B. So mouse is equal to computer mouse. Mouse here in my hand does not equal to cow. It does not equal to 747 jumbo jet. It equals to mouse. So if God says something about himself, he is that. He's not that. So I'll give you an illustration. When a Muslim says Jesus is not God, well, according to what God has revealed and what we've seen in history and what people experienced about who Jesus was, they made claims. And they all said, hey guys, this guy Jesus, he did miracles. He's God. He claimed to be God. That's why they killed him, because he claimed to be God on earth, and they killed him for blasphemy. And so you have to face the claim that he made and say, well, I believe it and it is, or it's not. But they both can't be true. And so when I'm talking to somebody and I say, well, I think you're not right about something, I'm just using the rules of logic. We're not trying to be mean or proud. I don't hate Muslims. I don't hate people from Islam. I just disagree with them. I think that their understanding of God and who Jesus is incorrect, okay? And that's just basic logic. A is equal to A. A is not equal to B, okay? And why is it that when we talk about God, we can't use the same rules as when we talk about my cup? You see, my cup is a camouflage cup. You wouldn't argue with that. If you said this is a cow, you've got problems. If you said this is the moon, you've got problems, okay? This is not a cow. This is not the moon. This is a camouflage cup on my desk. It hurts if I were to hit myself on the head, or you, for that matter. So we have to face the tangibleness of what we're claiming. Jesus claimed to be God. So for me to say, well, you're wrong, is just being consistent with what I believe. And by the way, you guys get to be consistent too. So my question is, why do you throw logic out the window when we're talking about spiritual things? When we talk about physical things, you guys will be like, oh yes, of course, that's the camouflage cup. But if I start saying, well, God has defined himself in a certain way, and you can't. No, that's wrong. No, it's logical for me. If that's what I believe he is, and I think he is, and if he really is that, then you're going to have to face it, and so will everybody. So anyway, I don't want to throw logic out the window when I talk about these things. And the final point is, calling people wrong is not wrong. We do it all the time. You do it all the time. As atheist people, you call us Christians wrong all the time. Why? Because A does not equal to B. You believe there is no God. So let's call that B. I believe there is a God. Let's call that A. Okay? So B, no God, is not the same as A, there is a God. So you call us wrong all the time. So don't judge us for saying that other people are wrong when you say we're wrong too. So am I making any sense? You've got to be consistent, guys, and that's a problem I see with so much of things. If you want to see my other blogs about some of the inconsistencies, you can check them out. So anyway, why don't you quit judging me? And when I say that I believe something's right or wrong, and I'll quit judging you, because you have the right to believe what you want to believe, because it's a belief system. Okay, bye. Have a nice day.
I don't know why you always have to be judging me. Because I only believe in science.